and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, we help members of the public get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. Now, they're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
Should we do money now, then?
There's £1,000 there.
No.
No?
No.
If I don't think that's enough money, there's an alternative. Go to auction and hope to get a little bit more money there. Today, the show comes to you from Bristol City Football Club grounds. They like their football around here. So what are they going to do? Are they going to take cash on the day, or are they going to gamble and go to auction? Either way, they're looking to get... You bet.
First up, we're at Corrie's table. But isn't it a bit early for a drink, girls?
Well, the interesting thing is they're sort of related in that they're both to do with alcohol. Is this a personality trait?
No, I'm not a drinker, I'm afraid. No,
So it's just a pure accident.
That's right, yeah. This one came down through the family, and this one I purchased in a charity shop.
OK, we're going to look at the one nearest you first.
OK.
This is what's called a quach. It's a Scottish word. And what this was for was tasting whiskey.
Oh, right.
And you've got it nicely marked. And I'm going to just use my eyeglass to a quick look at your mark. And it's Birmingham, and it's a small K, which I think is 1905, 1906, that kind of date. Now we're going to put this one to one side, and let's look at this. And it's in a lovely old leather case. And I think it's buckled onto a belt or, onto the person. So it was for carrying. You had it on you. Inside is a glass flask. And again, for alcohol, so you've got that really tight closing top, locking top, keep the alcohol safe. And again, it's silver, hallmarked on the top there. And I can see it is Sheffield. And I think it's a small F, which would be end of the 19th century, kind of 1890 into 1900. I'm not too sure, I'd have to look it up. But let's put it all back in together. Any idea what you want to do with the money?
Well, my daughter's into photography at the moment, and she wants a new camera, and they're quite expensive, so...
So let's put some money down. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Now, how do you feel about 100?
I think they're worth more than that.
Shall we try a little? Oh, here's David's come to help you.
£100 on the table.
That's right.
Now, here's a girl I'm sure knows a little bit about a tipple. The independent values in the auctioneers say 120, 180. I would have thought, considering there are two items there, probably worth up towards the 180, but well, I'm surprised at you. I'd be thinking you'd be having a nice little tipple with it.
Well, he's right, because I haven't finished yet. We've got 100 on the table. I'll put down 120.
No.
If I was to put down 140, would we have a deal?
No.
No, she's so determined. Well, I'll try the 140.
Cameras come in
140.
expensive.
I know, and daughters are very
And
expensive.
daughters, yeah.
Yes, they are.
Very.
If I put another 10 down, making it 150, would we have a deal?
Okay.
So I'm putting another 10 down, it's 150 on the table, and we have a deal.
Yep.
We have a deal. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Anita.
Thanks.
Now, I have to ask you the crucial question. How much did you pay for it?
40 pence.
40 pence. It's a lovely little thing.
What a great result for Anita.
I'm very, very pleased, yeah.
I'm really pleased with Anita's profit margin. I wish I could do the same.
We'll find out later whether Corrie has any success. Over with Michael now, where he's joined by jewellery lover Claire.
Where are they from?
They're from my mother who died a couple of months ago, so it's part of my inheritance.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I've already got enough myself.
It's a sad day when all this stuff gets priced up and
Yeah.
sold on, really, isn't it? Because today, in a lot of its values, is the scrap value, to be
Yeah,
honest
that's right,
with you.
yeah. Yep.
There were days when you would see pieces like this particular ring here, a little 9-carat ring with the little seed pearls in, that would have been sold as a ring with seed pearls in it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this one here has got garnet and seed pearl. This one is just a single pearl. And in this one here, we've got a little cameo brooch.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very small for a cameo. Cameos are normally bigger. This, I would assume, would have been the necklace, which would have taken all,
Yeah.
so you could interchange them, really. And do you follow the gold prices?
Occasionally I look at it, and it's quite good at the moment, but
It goes up and
yeah,
down,
that's
doesn't
right.
it?
From
I've
week
seen
to
it-
week, yeah.
I've seen
yeah.
it at £7.50 a gram, and I've seen
God.
it at £14 a gram.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's crazy how it does go. It's about 11 grams,
Yeah.
or with the stones in there.
Yeah.
So I suppose you've got to take away a good 20% really for the stones. So I'm just trying to work out in my head. I think I've got a price in mind, which I know will be roughly the scrap value and a little profit for me. And I can start off at smaller and build up, or I can just make you one offer. What would you like?
Maybe not.
One offer it is then? 20, 40, 60, 70 pounds. That allows for me and a profit, and you not losing any money with auction commissions.
Yeah, I think you've got to.
I think so too.
Yes.
I could have gone
Yes.
at 40 and we
Yeah,
go up
yeah.
and down. Thank you,
Thank
Claire.
you very much indeed.
Pleasure
Thank
to do
you.
business.
Thank
Now,
you.
the next question: do you want to sell any more of your gold?
No, definitely not.
He never stops, does he? Ever the businessman.
Hi, Julie, I'm Mark.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
So you brought along a painting for us here, or should I say a pastel.
Yes.
Can you give me any history on it?
It came from Cornwall,
Yeah.
but it's my daughter's partner's, his grandmother. This is supposed to be his grandmother.
I see. So it's been passed down through the family.
Yes.
And it's come through-
It was given to my daughter, and she
Yeah.
has given it to me.
Well, we can see here, this is by an artist called Amelia Dean,
Yes.
and it was painted in 1918, which is the finish of the First World War. So it's quite a prominent time in history.
Yeah.
There's something about it which says to me that you've got to be the right person to buy it. It's got that angelic look, hasn't it?
Yes.
Now, I will make you an offer for it, but to be
Okay.
perfectly honest, I'm not going to try and bust the bank with it. So let's see what we got here. 10, 20 pounds. How does that sound to you?
No.
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 I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. I mean, it's not a lot of money. The very, very best that I want to offer you today would
Yeah.
be £30, but that would be it. But having said that, I feel that you would be better putting this in an auction. I feel that you will get a better price for it, and you'll get more people that understand it more than me.
Yeah.
What would you actually like to do with it?
Go to auction.
I think you're doing the exact correct thing, and I really hope it does very, very well for you. Thank you very
you.
much for bringing it in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
25.
Oh, Mark, you could have had a go. Off to the sale room then. Julie can't make it, but the Duke's here to keep an eye on things.
50.
The item's here on a 60 to 90 estimation with a £60 reserve. Was it a good gamble? Is she going to make it? Well, it's certainly worth 60 quid. Let's see what the people here in the sale room think. It's coming up now.
What should we say? 40 to start. 40 bid at 40. At 40. 5, 50. 5, 60. 5, 70. 5, 80. 5. At
£85, they like it.
85. At 85, all finished then at 85. 90, you bid at 95. 100. 110.
It's £110 in the room. They've really gone for this.
At 110 now on the right at 110. We're all done then at 110.
OK, £110. That was under the gavel. Pretty little picture. I make that £93 after the deduction of commission. Julia, we'll be sending the money on to you You took a gamble. You were right, girl. That was the real deal.
Coming up, Simon's getting all touchy-feely.
Oh, yeah, come on, come stand next to me. Give us a squeeze, come on. Whoa, I enjoyed that.
Put her down. Haven't you got a deal to be getting on with? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal. The items are coming in thick and fast here in Bristol. We join Simon now, where these two ladies are hoping to swap their coin for notes.
You brought this whacking great big coin in with you, haven't you? Mm-hmm. It's a, go on.
Kookaburra.
A kookaburra. Well, I have to say, I've never heard of a kookaburra till today. But a kookaburra is a silver coin?
Yes.
1 kilo of fine silver?
It is, yeah.
And how come you've got a kookaburra?
It was part of my husband's collection, and he was heavily involved in collecting coins of all sorts. But I pass you over to Nora because I get quite a bit emotional, in many ways. No, that's all right.
That's okay. Stepdad was an avid coin collector and gold collector, and but unfortunately he passed away suddenly about 8 years ago. And it's taken quite its time to come to terms with it. But we're just at the point now that we need to move on, and we just need to put some of the items back out there in the market. To be honest with you, so we're guided by all the experts here, really. So that's the story of.
Well, I suppose it's it's one of those sad facts in life that when people amass collections, of course, the collections always outlast the people. Mm-hmm. And what I think is really charming about your story is the fact that he obviously got so much pleasure from collecting. And I'm sure that, like most collectors, he'd be only too pleased to see that his collection is going to be passed on to somebody else who feels the same about it. Yeah. And that's a legacy of a sort, which is a very nice way of, I hope you think, of looking at it.
Yeah, but he's always said that, the time will come when you need to start looking at doing what you feel it necessary to do it. Definitely. Right. So it's time.
It's time. It's here. It's a kilo of silver. So it's not difficult to price this, because as I suspect you're aware, there's a bullion market. Yeah. There's a set price for silver. We know what that set price for silver is today, and I know exactly what it's worth for its weight in silver. Yeah. Now I must just add to this that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's true value, because although a coin collector possibly would pay a small premium to own it as a coin, basically the value of these things in this market at the moment is determined by the weight of it. And as pretty as it is as an item, the value will go up and down as the price of bullion of silver goes up and down as well. So with today's prices, I'm going to offer you 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 250s there, makes 300, 50 there, £350. How do you feel about that, Dolores?
I'm going to squeeze you.
Oh yeah, come on, come stand next to me. Give us a squeeze, come on. Whoa, I enjoyed that.
I'm going to squeeze you for a bit more.
What, another squeeze? You're going to squeeze me for a bit more, fair enough.
Not a red one.
Well, you want 400? If I put that down to make 400, what would you do with the money today?
We'd have a break, we'd have a holiday somewhere and take grandchildren off somewhere.
How could I possibly refuse?
A break, thank you. You can for another squeeze. Yeah, you can. Okay.
I'm going to put down £400 cash. You both happy with that?
Yes.
You're certain you're happy?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you both.
Yes, thank you so much.
Dolores and Nora squeezed out a good deal there. Over to our next seller, Tony. He's hoping philately will get him everywhere.
You've certainly bought me an array of stamps here, haven't you?
Yes.
There's quite a few here. I've got to know, how did you come by them?
Most of them were given to me by grandfathers from two sides of the family. They came with albums, stamp albums, and a collection of cigarette cards as well. I can't find the albums or the cards. I think I've left them somewhere in moving house, usual trick. But these were in a large shoebox, which I've toted around with me for the last 30 odd years. And my wife, bless her, is trying to persuade me to get rid of my clutter.
But it kind of looks to me that this could be what we call like work in progress, because normally the stamps are kept in the stamp albums.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of things that are marked, like South Africa, Australia, Canada, but maybe he's put the stamps in there ready to be processed.
Right.
Do you know? That's my kind of gut feeling.
Okay.
I mean, there's some nice stamps here, kind of the iconic stamp, which everybody knows is the penny black.
Yeah, I did recognise that. Yeah.
I think it's probably the most talked about stamp in history. Everybody knows the penny black. There are varieties of it that I do know are worth a lot of money, and some varieties that aren't worth a lot.
Okay.
As to what one this is, I'm not sure. Just on a personal note, I like the old GPO book with all the Elizabeth II stamps. It's a great thing. It really is.
I didn't
nice.
even know it was there.
It's a really good thing. It's got all, the variation of the colours of the stamps, of the prices, and with it, some great advertising in there from that period. If we were going to actually talk about money here, I would need a lot longer time to actually sit through, sort and process and value every stamp.
Yeah, I can
You're talking of a lot of time. David's coming in now.
Well, when this arrived, this collection, there's a lot of interesting stamps here, and you really need to be a collector, a specialist, to ascertain the true value.
Right.
My feeling is here, for you to get the best value for money, I think you need to go to an auction house. Open it up to the market, and the room will tell you what they're worth.
I think what you've heard there, Tony, is by far and away the best advice.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you, but I would suggest that.
I'd like to go to auction with them. I think that would be the best thing.
Tony, I really, really hope they do very, very well for you and they bring you a substantial amount of money. The best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
No offer from Mark then. Let's see if there's a buyer for Tony's stamps in the sale room.
Tony decided to gamble and send the collection to auction. Now, he's not here on the day. He's got a prior engagement, so the Duke is looking after his interests. They are coming up now in 2 lots, the stamp collection. I mean, there's some penny blacks here. I would have thought they would sell easily, but who knows? Maybe stamp collecting is not what it used to be when I was a boy. Here we are.
Let's start the bidding now. 100, 100 I'm bid. At 100.
Straight in at 100. That's at the reserve.
At £100, is there any more? 110. 120 now, commission. At 120. All done then and selling at 120. Commission bid.
OK, a commission bid, £120. First lot we've got away. The next lot has a reserve of £30. £30 to £45 is the estimation. They should sell easily.
Hey, there they are, samples showing. Just to remind you, what shall we say? More interest just come in, 45, 55, 60.
£60 on the book with the auctioneer.
Yeah, any bids in the room now at 70 on commission, 75 at the back, 80. At 80, 85. In the room, commission bids out with you at 85. At 85 at the back now. 85, is there any more? At 85, selling at the back.
£85. Put the 2 lots together and I make that £205. That means £174 after the deduction of commission. On the day, that was the real deal.
Back to the dealer's den, where our next seller, Edward, is hoping this deal will be fruitful.
And how did you come by these?
They belong to my wife.
They belong to your wife. And do you know what they are?
They're grapefruit spoons.
They're grapefruit spoons, yeah. And your wife doesn't serve grapefruit?
No.
You're not fond of grapefruit?
No, not in the slightest.
I'm just going to actually look at the box, because it's caught my eye, and they are Mappin & Webb. Yes, lovely. Mappin & Webb of Oxford Street, London. What a nice retailer. They're very nice quality. They're just that lovely deco end there, that nice geometric end, and then this marking here for the juice, which is just a nice finish.
Yes.
So you've got 6 spoons, and they are all marked, and they are P. So it'd be early 1930s, late 1920s, that kind of date, which fits in with the pattern.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've got a nice little sugar sifter, and it's finished to match, which is really nice. Nice quality, nice weight. Nicely presented in the original box. They look like they've hardly ever been out.
I don't think they ever have.
Probably not, yes, because not many people use grapefruit sets for their breakfast. No, very true. And she's left you in charge. You're the vendor.
Yes, but she's told me what she wants.
Aha. She hasn't relinquished all control, has she?
No.
No, she's there. Well, I think they're a very nice set. I think they're lovely quality. Let's put the money on the table and see if I meet her expectation. 50. 70.
You're close. You're close.
Well, let me tell you what the independent valuers in the auctioneer say. 70 to 90 is what the estimation is, but it will surprise you, Corrie, when they scrap at 90. Now, I'm not advocating that something as presentable, as cased, as boxed, as mint as that should go into the melting pot. I'm saying do not do that. It's difficult to sell at the moment because rather like berry spoons and this type of apparel, which was so fashionable in a day of elegance, I'm afraid we're using mugs and spoons and we're having porridge for breakfast or cornflakes, and we're not using these things as much as we should do. So you're close to a settlement. I think you're better doing the deal here than going to auction.
I can't offer you less than the value of the metal, can I? No. So I've got to put 20 on the table. You've got 90 on the table. Will we have a deal?
Yeah.
Edward, thank you very much for bringing them along.
After the break, David's bestowing a great honour on Michael.
On one knee, Mr. Hogburn, please. OK.
But he's going to have to earn it.
And what is on there is not going to get you, the diamond geezer, a knighthood until you get some more money down. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
At Michael's table now, Pat's hoping she won't have to fight too hard for the real deal.
It's an 18th century sword. Where did you get it from?
Tinmouth in Devon, an antique shop.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
So what made you buy a sword? Unusual
Well,
thing.
I'm not interested. It was my husband. And the lady said it was 18th century French sword. She said it was silver plated. Whether it is, I don't know. And that's it. And we used to have it up on the wall.
Yeah.
It was his prized possession. But when he died, I took it down.
Did you?
Couldn't wait to get it up in the loft.
Yeah.
Out of the way.
So the thing about swords, you either like them or you don't like them.
Yeah.
There's no middle road, is there, with these ones? It's obviously a weapon, and it would have had a scabbard on this to start with, which would have protected this nice blade. And it's almost like the Three Musketeers, this one, isn't it? You look at this.
Is it silver plated?
No, it's steel.
Oh, right.
It's cut
that
steel.
lady was wrong there when she said it was silver plated.
Yeah, I mean, you know, might have got it cheaper because of that. It's a very decorative item, and I can see why your husband liked it, really. It's very sharp at the end there.
Yes.
And a lot of people, which is really a tip for people at home, would put a little bit of cork from a wine bottle on the end of that, so it wasn't so dangerous.
Yeah.
Should we do money now, then?
Yes, of course.
It's the best bit, isn't it?
It is.
20, 40, 60, 80 of my hard-earned pounds.
No, nowhere near. No.
Well, I'll tell you what it feels to me, Pat. It feels like I should be taking this sword on one knee, Mr. Hogburn, please. OK. What I can tell you, it's 18th century, an English sword. 200 to 300 is both the independent valuer and the auctioneer. And what is on there is not going to get you, the diamond geezer, a knighthood until you get some more money down.
I'll put a little bit more down. Let's see if I can tempt you, right?
Right.
So 80, 100, 120, 140, and that's where I want to be on this one, to be honest with you.
Oh, I am disappointed.
I hate disappointing people, especially someone as pretty as you.
I've stepped in here because what I think is, joking apart, Michael normally bids strongly for something that he really wants. I don't think this is quite Michael's cup of tea. I think that's worth a gamble.
So is there would there be a buyer at the auction?
I can't promise you there would be a buyer, but I can give you my professional opinion, and I think it is worth a gamble. So I'm going to leave you now. Make your mind up, Hoggy.
Yeah.
The knighthood is not on this time.
Thank you, Captain.
You can't even make it 200. If you could give me 200.
Pat,
I know you'd
I'm
get
going to say
more.
to you what David said to you. Take it to auction. Because there will be someone there who likes it a lot more than me.
I'll do that then.
I will, Pat, and I'm very pleased you are going to do it. I
Okay,
do
then.
wish you luck as well, Pat.
Right, thank
Have
you.
fun.
It's off to auction then to see if we can get Pat a better offer.
At 18 on the internet, now 20.
Now, Pat, do you remember what you paid for it?
125. 125.
125 pounds. So
Yeah.
you paid a good price for it quite a long time ago.
And she was asking more, actually. My husband got it down a little bit.
So that was a fair price quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's here in the sale room at £200 to £300. There's a reserve of £200. The question is, looking around the sale room, is there a potential buyer for this sword here? Well, there might be. It's decorative and it's a nice looking item. It's coming up over there, so with a bit of luck, we'll get you the £200 plus. Let's see what happens.
It's lot 40 then, showing on the stage, really nice, 18th century English, all steel, small sword. What should we say? 100 to start, £100, 100 bid at 100 now, 110, 120, at 120. We're all done then at 120. Is there any more then? At 120. No more bids then, I'll have to pass. We're all finished.
Okay, they have passed it. A little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
You turned down 140. That was the real deal, Michael. You were on the money there. It brought 120 in the room and didn't sell because the reserve was 200 quid. What are you thinking now?
Oh, I'm really disappointed.
Are you?
Yes, yeah.
Did you hear that? Dickinson's real deal, really disappointed.
Yeah.
We don't like to hear that. I'm going to say to you, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with your sword. It is a lovely item. You mustn't be disappointed. Coming on the show is a bit of fun. What you've got and you're taking home is a nice item.
Back in the dealer's den, Mike's brought along a box for Mark, but what's inside?
So what have we got here?
Well, if you open it up, you might find out.
Well, it's going to tell me on the top here, because what we've got here is a telescope for a high-angled gun. Right, let's have a look. Well, there's a bit of kit there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Tell me, how did you actually come by this?
I was in an auction house about 2.5 months ago, and I thought it was an interesting item. I was going to do some find out some research on it, but I didn't end up doing it because of family commitments.
Yep.
So I thought, well, I'll bring it along today and see what the dealer can tell me about it.
The first look at this, I think this is probably made between the 20s and 30s. Is that your kind of feeling?
I thought it might be First World War type.
Yeah, I think it's could be slightly later.
Okay.
I believe everything's here. You've got the lenses, 3 lenses there, plus these are obviously the lenses to go at the end here. How can I would find it hard to find somebody that I know that I could actually think, well, they would like to buy that. So I've got to make you an offer for it, and I will make you an offer.
Okay.
But let's wait and see, okay?
Sure.
I'll get some money out of the pocket, shall I?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see what I got. 20, 40 pounds. How does that sound?
No.
No? No. I really don't know with this. It's something that I'm just not sure about. I tell you what, how about if I put another one down to make it £60? How does that sound? Wait, let me stop you. Here comes David.
Well, I'll tell you what they think. That's the auctioneer and the independent value. They say 80 to 100.
Uh-huh.
I think they might be slightly deluded, and the reason I say that is, to sell that, you need a stand. It can be got, a wooden stand for the gun sight. They need to be polished. It means sending it to a specialist polisher. He's probably going to charge you 50 or 60 quid to polish it.
Okay, sure.
And then you put it on a stand, and it's going to look good in someone's office, or just as a technical item.
Okay.
The offer is realistic considering the condition.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to leave that with you. You could go to auction, you might get more, or it just might not sell at all.
Thank you, David.
The decision's yours.
As the money's on the table, and going to auction, no, I'll rather take the money that's on the table, thanks.
You sure?
Absolutely.
You got yourself a deal.
Thank you very much.
After the break, our Simon is known as a tough negotiator.
Not enough.
Come on, Jackie.
Still think they're worth more than that.
Well, take them to auction and try it.
But has he met his match in Jackie? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from historic Bristol. Things are winding down after a busy day. We're off to Simon's table now, where he's joined by Jackie, who has high hopes for her items.
Today I brought in a pair of statues, bronze busts. I'm hoping to get £1,000 for them, or maybe more.
David and auctioneer Liz Poole are keen to get a look into.
What can you tell me about your bust?
They've been in my family for about, well, it's in my husband's family for 35 years, and they've been stuck in the attic for the rest of the time.
Right. And do you know how they came into your husband's family?
No, I haven't got a clue, no.
So basically they were just something your husband inherited?
That's right.
And you don't really know much more about the history of them prior to those 35 years?
No.
Right. Are they something you like yourself?
No, they don't go in my decor in my house now, because
Right.
everything's modern, isn't it? They're quite old.
They're quite old. They're what I would call classical, but they are, having said that, I think they're very nice. They're very nice quality. They're a pair of French bronze sculptures, or busts as we call them, of two ladies looking a little bit severe, it has to be said. Their faces are sort of a bit pensive, especially this one.
They're a bit miserable, isn't
A little bit miserable. They are a little bit miserable. But they're very nice quality. They're by an artist called Clesinger. They were made about in the mid-19th century. I think they're dated 1850, something like that. So we're talking about something that's quite antique. I buy a lot of bronzes, and it's something I deal in all the time. And a few years ago, these were probably a bit more desirable than they are nowadays, simply because that sort of classical look of this isn't quite as popular as it was. Nowadays, it's easier to sell a 1920s, 1930s Art Deco bronze than it is one that's, 80 years older. But having said that, they're very nice quality, and of course they've got a value attached to them. I think they're very nice. I mean, if we look at the quality of the sculpture on them, I mean, all that's been carved by hand from a lump of metal. If you think of it like that, the skill involved in producing these is considerable.
I bet.
I should just point out the signature on them, which is just here. I don't know if you've seen that. Did you notice that?
I did notice, yeah.
And the other one's got, I think, a little date on it and a small monogram.
Now, I'm quite excited because this particular artist, Jean-Baptiste Clesinger, I've always admired, and I've bought lots of his work over the years. Bronzes at the moment in the sale room, classical bronzes, aren't perhaps doing that well, are they?
No.
What do you think about them, Liz?
I think they're very beautiful. I think we might have Cleopatra and Sappho, not quite sure, but I think they're very, very nice.
The independent valuers have said 1,000 to 1,500. I think that's realistic, and it would not surprise me if they went over 1,500. But let's see what Liz says.
I've said the same at 1,000, 1,500 because of the market, but again, because they're so pretty, they could go a little bit higher.
I think we've got great expectations with these, but Simon is a dealer that knows his way round the block. He's got a great eye for quality, and I'm sure he will go for these in a big way. Let's see what he puts on the table.
So, money. Have you got any idea of the value of them?
No.
That's good then. Do you want 20 quid for them? Right, I would like to buy these. I'm going to make you a good, strong bid for them straight away to try and tempt you.
Okay.
Okay? So, there's £1,000 there.
No.
No?
No.
£1,000? Do you think that's a good opening bid?
It's a good opening bid, yeah.
£1,000 has gone down on the table. That's a nice start. What do you think about that offer, Liz?
I think a little bit mean.
OK. Liz is saying a little bit mean. Perhaps she means a little bit careful, otherwise we'll get ourselves in trouble with Simon. I'm going to get in there and say the same thing. I think it's a bit careful, that offer.
That's not enough.
Would you like to get David's opinion? See what he thinks?
Why not?
Let's see what Mr. Dickinson thinks about my offer.
Well, first of all, I just think they're wonderful. Our independent valuers and the auctioneer, they're both in unison. They both say 1,000 to 1,500. David says to you, cracking pair of bronzes, 5, 6 years ago, they'd have been 2.5 grand, maybe a bit more. But let's get realistic. I still think you've got there 1,700, 1,800 quid's worth of bronzes. They're lovely. I'm going to say, don't miss these for a few quid. Try and get a few more quid in. I think you're on a winner. Clesinger, he's the business.
Seem to listen to David.
I agree with what David said, but you know, at the end of the day with these, it comes down to sort of how quickly you can sell them. How, you know, how saleable are they? For me, I like them. I'd like to buy them. I've made no secret of it. I'm going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 140 quid. That's 1140.
I still think they're worth more than that.
Well, take them to auction and try it. I think that's a strong, strong bid for them.
I think there's a tempting bid on the table, but is it tempting enough? They are worth more. I'm going to say, can you persuade the lady not to go to auction?
Well, I could just keep putting money down forever, but the truth is, I want to buy them at a price where I can sell. And I completely agree with you. A few years ago, they were £2,000 plus easily. But the buyers for these it's a very small group of people now, David, that are buying classical
Because of the
works
subject matter, because of the artist, if you bought those for £1,300, if you couldn't sell them for 1,500 quid, because I think at auction, there's a chance they could bring more than 1,500.
Thank you, David. What we got, 1140. £1,200.
Not enough.
Come on, Jackie. I don't want you. Do you know what I don't want you to do?
My lucky number's 13.
My lucky number's 13 as well.
Well, put
what I
13
don't want
down,
you
then.
to do
Is he quibbling over 100 quid for a pair of Clesinger bronzes? Get your 100 quid in
I'll
and
do
get
100
them
quid
bought.
to get you to shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. £1,300. It's your lucky number 13. Are you happy to accept £1,300?
Yes, I am very happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in. What are you going to do with all that money now?
I'm going to go on holiday now.
I will put it towards a lovely holiday and I hope you have a great time. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Well done, Jackie.
I'm very happy. I'm delighted.
But the steal of the day must be our seller, Anita. She bought the quach for a measly 40 pence.
It was about 8 years ago, and I went into a charity shop, and there was all the bric-a-brac on the shelf, and straight away, I thought, I like handles on the quach. I like that, so I thought I'll have that, and 40 pence, bargain.
And sold it to Corrie for 150, making her an enormous profit. As for our dealers, they offered up nearly £2,500 of their own money today. But have they been able to turn their own profit? Mark only bought one thing, but he did sell the gun sight on to another dealer for £80. Meanwhile, Michael scrapped Claire's jewellery for £94, making him a tidy little profit. As for Corrie...
Not great demand. I haven't many customers for grapefruit sets.
She sold the grapefruit spoons for £110 and did manage to make a profit with the quach and the hip flask, selling them for £180. And last but not least, it's Simon. He found a buyer for the kilo coin at £500.
David and I are both a bit old-fashioned, really, because we still like and can recognise the quality in these.
Whilst the bronze busts were the biggest buy of today, he managed to find a buyer for them at an antiques fair, selling them for a whopping £1,700.
We've had a great day of action. There's been lots of buying and lots of selling, and that's the way we like it. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.